You clicked this video because somewhere deep down, you have felt it. That moment when you reach for your dog with love, and something in their body says no. And the version of comfort you keep offering might actually be pushing them further away. By the time this video ends, you will understand why your dog has been rejecting one specific type of affection, and exactly what to give them instead. You love your dog. You feed them, walk them, and you have made space for them in your life. But here is what most people never realize. Some forms of human comfort can feel overwhelming to a dog's nervous system. And the comfort that feels natural to you might be the very thing your dog has learned to brace against. Today, we are going to look at 3 quiet signs most owners miss, why certain kinds of touch backfire, and the simple shift that can change the way your dog experiences safety. Starting tonight. But first, we need to talk about the sign that happens in almost every home, almost every day, and still goes unnoticed. Your dog avoids your direct reach. You sit beside them and they shift away. You lean over to pat their head and they duck slightly. You call them over and they stop just outside your arm's reach. Most owners explain this away. He is just independent. She is not very cuddly. That is just their personality. And yes, some dogs naturally prefer less physical contact. That part is true. But when the same avoidance keeps happening, in the same moments, it stops being random. It becomes communication. Behavior researchers studying canine stress signals have consistently observed that dogs who turn their head away, lick their lips, or shift their body away from an approaching hand, are often trying to reduce tension, not reject the person themselves. Because from a dog's perspective, a hand reaching from above does not automatically feel affectionate. It can feel invasive. And this is where many loving owners accidentally make the moment worse. They reach again, but slower this time. They lean closer. They soften their voice. But to the dog, that can feel like pressure. That ignored their first answer. So tonight, try something different. Sit beside your dog with your hands resting in your lap. Do not call them. Do not lean toward them. Just stay quietly present for a few minutes. Then watch carefully for the smallest movement. A shoulder leaning lightly against your leg. A paw shifting closer. A sigh beside you. That tiny choice matters. Because what your dog may have been saying all along was never leave me alone. It was, please let me come to you. And that brings us to the second sign. The one that fools the most devoted dog owners. Because it looks exactly like affection. Your dog licks you when you comfort them. You come home to an anxious dog. You crouch down. Stroke them. Reassure them softly. And they begin licking your hands. Your face. Your chin. Most people immediately see this as love. And sometimes, it absolutely is. But canine behavior researchers have found that context changes the meaning of licking dramatically. After stress or fear, repeated licking can also function as appeasement behavior. A dog's way of lowering tension and saying, I am not a threat. That changes the moment completely. Because many dogs are not asking for more stimulation. When they are overwhelmed, they are asking for less. And without realizing it, owners often reward the stress loop itself. The dog licks. The owner increases touching, soothing, hugging, reassuring. The interaction becomes bigger and more emotionally intense, while the dog's nervous system stays activated underneath it. The dog learns how to manage the human's response. But the feeling of safety never fully arrives. So the next time your dog seems anxious, try removing the pressure. Instead of adding comfort on top of it, get down to their level. Turn your body slightly sideways. Instead of facing them directly, stay nearby, without immediately touching them. No grabbing. No constant talking. No overwhelming reassurance. Just calm presence. Then watch for the real sign of relief. The slow blink. The long exhale. The muscles softening around the face and shoulders. That is the moment. Their body finally stops preparing for something. And that kind of comfort does not need to lick your hand to survive. If this is changing the way you see your dog right now, subscribe to the channel. Because learning canine body language changes everything. Once you begin noticing what they have been communicating all along. Now we need to talk about the quietest sign of all. The one most owners completely misunderstand. Because on the surface, it looks exactly like calm. Your dog freezes when you hold them. You pull them close during a storm. You wrap your arms around them at the vet. You hold them tightly. Because you want them to feel protected. And they stop moving. No growling. No fighting. No struggling. Most owners see this and think, finally, they relaxed. But behavior specialists who study stress responses across mammals have long observed something important. Stillness does not always mean comfort. Sometimes stillness is simply the nervous system giving up on escape. A dog can become motionless while remaining highly stressed internally. Their heart rate may still be elevated. Their muscles may still be tense. Their body may simply decide that resisting no longer changes the outcome. And over time, some dogs learn that struggling only makes restraint last longer. So instead of fighting, they shut down quietly. That is not trust. That is endurance. And many deeply loving owners misread that silence every single day. So tonight, do something that may feel completely unnatural at first. Stop using restraint as comfort. Instead, lower your hands slowly beside them. Palm relaxed. Low to the ground. A short distance from their nose. Then wait. If your dog wants contact, they will close the final gap themselves. That choice matters more than most people realize. Because the real sign of emotional safety is not whether a dog stays when they are held. It is whether they choose to approach when they are free not to. And that single difference changes everything. For many of you watching, the bond is already there. Your dog loves you. That was never the question. The real question is whether they feel safe enough to communicate honestly with you inside that relationship. Can they move away without being followed? Can they feel nervous without being restrained? Can they say not right now without losing your affection? Those are not dramatic questions to a dog. They are survival questions. And the beautiful part is that answering them does not require expensive training or complicated techniques. It requires patience, stillness, space, and the willingness to let your dog participate in affection instead of simply receiving it. Because trust is not built when your dog tolerates contact. Trust is built when they seek it out on their own. That quiet moment when they finally walk over and rest beside you without being called. That is safety. That is consent. That is trust with its eyes closed. We do not do shallow pet advice here. We break down the silent emotional language dogs use every day. So you can understand what they have been trying to tell you all along. If you want more videos that help you build a calmer, deeper relationship with your dog, subscribe now. And before you go, I want you to think about one question. When was the last time your dog chose to come to you? instead of you going to them? Think about that for a moment. Then tell me in the comments. Until next time. Keep listening to them.